Okay, so this is going to help you guys get stronger, which is what a lot of us are after, and how to program a little bit smarter. So the first thing to realize is that progress doesn't happen like this. It's much more likely to go up, have a bit of down, up, down, up, down. You're going to have down periods. So what you've got to realize is you need to allow for that. So if you've made some good headway, give yourself time to recover again, to have a bit of a time off here period before you start pushing yourself harder and harder in the gym again to go up again. And then gradually over time, you'll still improve. Okay, but be okay with this down period. When you try and push hard all the time, you're just going to hit a dead end basically, and you're not going to get anywhere fast. So brings me on to the next point, is your programming. So what's really common is, say, 4 sets of 10. Okay, and instead of doing this for a period or a block of training, we do it for the entire year and get frustrated with the results. So what I recommend is change this up quite often. So here at Highwood, we change it up every 6 weeks. Okay, so we also change the exercises up. You can change the rest tempo. You can change the tempo, rest. You can change the tempo of the exercise you're doing. There's heaps of variables, so make sure you're mixing it up regularly. But in saying that, another common thing that we see is mixing it up too much. So say we've got a couple of exercises: squat, lunge, leg press, for example. And week 1 we do a squat, week 2 we do a lunge, week 3 we do a leg press, week 4 we do a squat again. So what we've got to realize is whilst, yes, we're doing strength training here, it's been 4 weeks now since we've hit the squat. Okay? And what happens is you need to allow time for your body to get used to the squat. Not only the movement pattern, but the load. So the loading on each of these exercises is going to be very different. The way in which the muscles coordinate and fire off is going to be very different in these ones. So what we suggest is sticking to a block of using the same exercise. So here at Hybrid, like I said earlier, we do a 6-week block. So the 6 weeks of just squats at the same rep scheme. Okay, that's what we do personally. There's plenty of ways to do it, guys. They're all going to work fine. Just have a look, but just like I said, try not to jump around too much, which is really common in like your circuit-based style training classes where they're just picking exercises haphazardly. You're going to get really good results initially, but you're going to hit a brick wall eventually. Okay, and the reason is there's no progressive overload. So what we suggest, if say you are doing a block of say 6 weeks on the squat, don't try and increase the weight or load every single week. So let's just say week 1's 100 kilos. You can get out, let's just say we're doing 4 sets of 6. You can get out 4 sets of 6 at 100 kilos. You're like, sweet, what I'm going to do next week is go 105. Sweet, what I'm going to do next week is 110. This would be unreal if that was possible, guys, but unfortunately it's not. You're going to hit a wall at some point. What I like to do is adapt. Allow time for your body to adapt to that 100 kilos. So just because you hit it once doesn't mean your body's adapted fully to it. Sure, it's had some exposure. It's had 4 sets of 6, which in relative terms is probably about a couple of minutes of exposure under that, or even less maybe. 6 reps might take you 30 seconds. That's 2 minutes, you know what I mean? 2 minutes. So now, 100 again, I'd hit it again the next week. So now I've got 4 minutes of exposure, 100 again, 6 minutes of exposure, and then I'd try bump it up. Okay, so whilst it can seem ages and frustrating, the return on investment is actually unreal with strength training. Like I said, you're only hitting this for 2 minutes each time under tension, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, except we want that return to be unreal. So that's what I do, is use the same weight about 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and then try bump it up just a little bit. Maybe go 105. Okay? Keep in mind, the stronger you are, the longer you've been training, the amount you're going to be able to bump this weight up when you do bump it up is going to be less and less. When you're a novice, you can bump it up all day long, and you're going to be great. So keep that in mind, and then I would change here, go again at 105 again, 105, and then you might end the program on 110. Okay, so in that period, you're going from 100 to 110, you're fully adapted, and now your new strength level is 110. So keep that in mind, and you need to know what you lifted the week prior. That's another area to look at, is actually recording what you're doing. and knowing what you're doing. As I said, if you're jumping around a lot, you're not going to get those results. So keep those things in mind, guys. Mix it up. Don't mix it up too much. Give yourself time to adapt. Give yourself a week or two off after you've pushed hard in a block like I just showed you, and see how that goes and see if that changes how quickly you're adapting. As I said, recording the numbers is going to play a big role in your ability to keep pushing forward. Eat well, sleep well, massive parts as well, guys, but hopefully that gave you a couple of ideas. Take care.